there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another car video. The sexual revolution really helped men. Now I know. First, let me give a shout out to this brother who suggested that in one of the comments, and I said I had to do a video on it because I think he had a good point, and that's a black thought. Now, the sexual revolution, because the basic idea, or the basic, the general feeling is that the sexual revolution helped women because it could, unleash them to be who they're going to be. And to be honest, and this goes to, the current argument about whether the game has changed, it really didn't. It just means they could be more public about this shit. That's all it meant. They could be more public because, trust me, I know from older relatives, even the abortion thing, it was just more dangerous, but they did it and there were other stuff, but they were still getting down. And if anybody challenges that, I got the receipts. So anyway, right? I thought about that. I was just like, Now, of course, I would say it like this. I think the sexual revolution has been helpful for certain men. I don't think it's been helpful for all men as we see. Because I think what's happened is giving women freedom to openly, notice I said the word openly, go for the men they want and to let their sex appeal get out there. Oh, okay. Thought I saw some shit. Anyway, right? Let their sex appeal get out there, but for certain men, it means they don't have to hide their shit. They really don't. Like, one thing, since women had to hide their sexual nature more, like back in the day, even though they were getting down like crazy, and like I said, I got the receipts. Got references. Even though they were getting down like that, a lot of men, especially a lot of men who were on some player shit, they weren't as tolerated back then. They really weren't. They were doing their thing, like the backdoor man. We might look at, especially a lot of people now look at the player or the pimp as, doing their thing and all that. Well, particularly the player. But, you're talking about a society which at least had the surface of marriages and stuff, right? People married on the surface, happy families. You didn't want to hear about that guy who was coming through the back door. Shit. People talk about women home records, but you had a lot of guys coming through there. And I remember one commenter, if he hears this, I hope he shouts himself out in comments. He said, a lot of those families back in the day, they had a large number of children. All of them were the fathers. Or the presumed father, rather. So it's like, you know what? That sexual revolution might have opened it up for a lot of guys, a lot of players. Because they ain't have to fake as much. They can be out with their shit. Because what was anybody going to say? Since women weren't trying to marry to the same extent, or pretend like they were married, which is a better term, or pretend like they actually love some dude. Shit, who benefits from that? I mean, who benefits from open sex or this women being out there or anything? Who benefits? Like, a lot of people don't benefit. A lot of men don't benefit. Hence why we got a lot of stuff now. Let's just be honest. That's why the sex doll thing is even like a word. It's even a big deal for many people. Because a lot of people don't benefit, but somebody always benefit. The more open it is, it benefit for the guy who's looking good, or the guy who got the gift of gab, or got that style or anything. It's a player's paradise, man. Think about it. Because, you got women, shoot, they openly saying how they want to get down. So if a dude just on that player thing, he ain't trying to get married or whatever, he can talk to a woman and just tell her, it's like, hey girl, you do what you want to do, I do you do you do me. Because contrary to popular belief, all these women ain't looking for husbands. That's a square belief right there. A lot of women just want a nice stiff dick. They don't need to love the dude. That's why I say, and I've constantly said, some of the dudes who getting the most pussy out here ain't the best dudes, because the women only need them for one thing. All motherfuckers really needs a big dick. Like, just real talk, seriously. If a dude got a nice print, but he look busted in the face, a woman still take him because she ain't trying to have his babies. You know? She'll probably have the baby of, you know, that one poor beta type dude, which some women to do because they just want the kid, stop having sex with them, then go out and party. And trust me, that's the whole thing with the cuckolding thing. Because I saw somebody shared an article with me. It was on the Huffington Post or CNN, one of them, about cuckolding being healthy. And I was like, shit, these women going out with it. They out with this shit. Whereas back, you know, used to be, they weren't. So the sexual revolution, yeah, you know, people, if you like one of those dudes ain't getting it like that, nah, ain't good for you. But for certain men, it is a good thing. I mean, you know. And I know some people say, nah, that's evil. No. It's like the fox in the hen house analogy, right? A fox in the hen house, the fox is bad for the hen, but good for the fox. And so it's good for some players. You got these open women. That's why I've always said it's actually easier now. If you're that type of dude and you're among the select group of men who women going to normally have sex with, shoot, these are the days. Seriously. And I was like, you know, when dudes say that, you know, well, that's one thing I like about my commenters. Every now I get a lot of subject I get ain't even coming from me. I get it from them. They don't even necessarily even ask me to do it. I just say it, I see it, and I was like, wow. I be having some people dropping some major knowledge in my comments. I got some very intelligent commenters and stuff. Very intelligent. Very provocative. I mean, I say a good portion of them need to have their own channels. Do some videos. They could really make some, they could do some work. But that's something, and you think about it, it's like, it's easier now since women more open. They can go up and tell a dude that. Like, and this is a story I told before, man. I was at this expo, and this woman saw this dude, and she said, I want to take you home. And all he did was walk up to her and say, put your number in my phone. And then he walked off. They ain't even exchanged names and shit then. And woman looked at me and said, hey, you got to go for what you want. So, yeah, if you in that top tier, you know, whether you want to use 10% or 20, I'll use 20%. The number's higher, but I already did a video on that. But it's the select is smaller than the non-select. That's the only thing we can definitely agree on. But, you know, it's like wide open. In fact, I know I got a lot of, I'm going to be honest with y'all. It's so open. I get a lot of dudes who watch my channel who ain't looking for relationship advice. They don't need it. They already got 4 or 5 women, all that stuff, right? They don't need it at all. They don't care what advice. They think I'm giving good advice, but a lot of times I get like guys like that, like actual players, actually top tier dudes who check my stuff out for 2 reasons. One, it confirms what they've been thinking anyway, because trust me, a real player's world can be a lonely place. And then confirms what they say, and then, you know, sometimes he just want to be in the energy of somebody who's on the same path. You know, they want to be around people. In fact, I've actually had several players really go in on like beta type guys on like privately with me. They was like, why are you even dealing with them? I've had several just straight up true to the game players say, why are you dealing with me? And they have straight up told me, Rom, they ain't gonna get what you saying. And these are young guys too. These are young guys. These are like guys in their 20s and stuff telling me that. These some real players. You know? Imagine that 20-year-old players agreeing with Rom. Imagine that shit. Yeah, so you know, I'm thinking that though, because you know it's a question. You know, it's hard to say for sure, and like I said, it's definitely not everybody, but yeah, there's always going to be a portion who going to benefit from whatever situation there is in society, no matter what. Now, that's no comfort to guys who, you know, just found out that their babies weren't theirs, or that their woman been cheating with some young dude for a while. And for those who saw my Honey Trap, when I was talking about that movie Honey Trap, you know, it ain't a comfort to guys who've had to watch a woman that they want to get with the Troys of the world. But, you know, that's how it is. From the fox's point of view, it's good to be in the hen house. So anyway, I think that's something. You know what? Honestly, I think really my final thought on that is that it's, you know, it depends. It really depends on your perspective ultimately, and where you at. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that's that. Let me take this off since this glove cannot turn this damn thing off. You know, I need to have something I can just say clap on and clap off, turn this joint off. It'd be so easy. I'm sure there is somewhere. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. Peace and blessings.